Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Little Fat Mushy Tove, representing the WCIS. We can inspire someone. OPP only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Hev, shout out to Uncle DV, and shout out to the community. That's all about a unity. What's going on? It's your boy, Little Fat Mushy Tove. Hopefully, everybody's feeling good, feeling great. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show tonight. Um, Hopefully, everybody's looking forward to getting into the weekend. It's Thursday, most of the week is over with. And tonight I got a good show. We're gonna get into some good conversations, some good topics. Got the IG over here going live. What's going on the IG? Get the IG straight. Everything is good over there. Bad girl, what up, bad girl? Sniper is in the building. What up, bad girl? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right. So let me get this situated. Okay, got that done. So tonight we're going to be talking about the different phases of dating someone. When you go from the meeting them or getting to know them, where do you feel most comfortable meeting people? Hold on, before we go any further, bad girl, how does the microphone sound? Microphone sound good? I want to make sure we sound good before I go another further. All right. Hopefully everybody is feeling wonderful tonight. I'm feeling good. Feeling pretty good. Looking forward to the weekend. We're going to talk about what up, my man Jeff over here on the IG. What up, Jeff? Welcome to the stream, my brother. I'm streaming live on YouTube right now as we speak. If you want to come join the WCIS community, just come on over. It's free. You ain't got to pay nothing. It's free to get into the club, bro. Everything sounds crispy and clear. All right, wonderful. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk about at what age do men and women start to hit start to hit that wall where they start to realize, maybe I should have took into consideration that, at a certain age, you want to settle down. At a certain age, you want to have children. A certain age, you want to get married. BX the Great One with your Rudy Pucandias. What up, BX the Great One? Ashy Larry, the fourth hostman, is in the building. What up, bro? Welcome to the stream. All right, we're going to get into all of that. So we're going to talk about the phases of dating. All right. Like what phase does dating start off with? Does it start with a conversation? Should it start with friendship? What do you think is the best? This is the first question for tonight. Oh, my man, James King. What's going on, my brother? Welcome to the stream. I'm so happy to see you here tonight. I got a good question for you, bro. All right. I know you married. I know you got kids. And I know you can lend a really good perspective to this conversation. All right. What up? My pudding is better is over here on the IG. Your pudding is better? Watch out now, girl. Don't get nobody in trouble. What up? My pudding is better. I'm streaming live on YouTube right now and on Facebook. You can come join the conversation. All right, my brother, well, on the stream, y'all see James King, but I know him as bruv. So, yo, bruv, what do you think is the best foundation for any good relationship? All right. What's the best foundation? What's the best way to start when it comes to building a good foundation with your partner? What is your opinion on that, my brother? All right. Everybody in the chat, welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel out a lot. Let's show them that these little YouTube channels can make it too. We got some say so. We can form our own communities. We can have our opinions. We can have our shows. We don't need millions and millions of people with us. We just need the good people that are tuning in to support. All right. So yeah, what do you feel is the best foundation for a good relationship? Should you start off with attraction? Should it start off with friendship? In your past, where has your best relationship started at? What's the greatest foundation? That's the first question. All right. That's the first question I have for everybody. All right. For me, I always say the best foundation for any good relationship is friendship. I think if you start off with a good friendship, you've definitely started off on the right foot, you know. Now it may not be that it may not be the same for the guy, because the last thing you want, fellas, let me tell you one thing. If a female says, I see you like a brother, you got some problems on your you got some problems on your hands. I'm telling you right now. You got some problems on your hands. So you don't want to get caught up in the friend zone. But I think friendship is still, even though that friend zone does exist, I think the best foundation for any good relationship is friendship. If anybody disagrees, let me know. Let's get into the conversation. But yeah, I think friendship is the best foundation. And that's definitely worked for me in the past, where I've been able to have a good, long relationship with someone, is because we were able to form a friendship. Now, do you feel like it's easier to form a friendship during the relationship, or do you feel like it's better to form a friendship before the relationship sparks? All right. Everybody with every answer will come up onto the screen. So Badgurl said we're gonna definitely go with friendship first. All right. Badgurl said friendship first. I definitely believe friendship is a great foundation. I think when you start off and you get into it so much when it pertains to attraction and having, and intercourse, it can cloud things. It can definitely complicate things, and it can definitely fast track things. And then you end up entangled in something, and you don't even realize that you don't really know this person to the level or to the extent that you should. When you share your body with someone, and this goes for men and women, it's very important. It's very, it's something that should be considered very important, very sacred, very precious. All right. BX the Great One said he agrees with Badgurl Sniper. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times we get caught up in we get caught up in attraction, and attraction allows you to leapfrog, that stage that we all need, and that's really getting to know each other as people and character and our characteristics, our personality, if you want to see if you have chemistry with that person, and really great sex can cloud all of that. It can allow you to believe that everything is all good when everything is all bad. I've had so many situations in my life where I wanted to so desperately make the person happy. I wanted to pour into them to make them to take away whatever it is that was ailing them. If something was bothering them, I wanted to help. I wanted to take their mind off of it. I wanted to bring them happiness, bring them pleasure. And a lot of my teenage years was spent with me pouring in one direction. And it was because I felt like I didn't need anyone to pour into me. I'm good. I don't have enough. I'm good. I'm full. But as I've gotten older, I realized that is not true. It's definitely not true. We all need someone. We all need someone to pour into us. We all need someone to attend to us and give us a love and affection and intimacy doesn't hurt. Intimacy definitely doesn't hurt. There's nothing like a woman's touch. All the fellas, I'm pretty sure y'all will agree with that. There's nothing like a woman's touch. So Badgurl said, yes, absolutely. It can cloud your judgment, especially as women. It can cloud your judgment also as it works both ways. A lot of women may not realize that it works both ways, but it really does. That's how powerful a woman, hold on, let me turn on. Mama Perez is in the building. What up? Maria is in the building. Hola, Maria. Tell Have to bring his ass back to work. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. What's going on? Miss Perez is in the building over here on the IG. Yeah, so if you skip over the friendship phase, you know, you can have fun. But once you get into the friendship phase, how do you transition? If we're gonna go with friendship is the best foundation, once you get past that friendship phase, or how do you transition from the friendship phase to the relationship phase? You know, is it something that you feel like you need to initiate? Do you feel like it's something that should come natural? Is it different for every person? You know, do you prefer your as women, do you prefer your men to be as a woman, do you prefer for the man to pursue you, or would you prefer for it to happen more naturally? Would you prefer for a man to say, "Look, I want you to be my woman." Whether you're ready or not, he's letting you know how he feels and he's ready to take the next step. Would you like for him to push you or nudge you in that direction, or would you like to just let it happen naturally? Me personally, I would prefer for a woman to choose me than for me to have to kind of like persuade her to want to be in a relationship, because I think women will let you know up front how they feel for, well, a real woman should be able to let you know up front how she really feels about you, not afraid to tell you, not afraid to act on it. And I think that some women will appreciate things just falling into place naturally. Then you have women that are like, look, if you want, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. If you want something, you better speak up. All right. So for everybody that's in the chat, anybody who's gonna watch this, you know, you could leave your point of view in the comment section. But what do you prefer? Would you prefer for it to fall into place naturally, or would you prefer for it to be initiated by the man? You know, and me as a man, be completely honest, I definitely prefer to let things fall into place naturally. I feel like once you start to, hold on, let me turn my okay, we good. Once you start to have to initiate things, or kind of like, I don't want to say force it, but once you have to kind of like, yeah, initiate is the right word. Initiate things. If there's any hesitancy on her behalf, then you know that initiate may turn into like you trying to persuade, or God forbid force. And that's the last thing you want. You know, women know what they want. Let's get that straight. Women know what they want. Most women know whether they're going to be with you, want to be with you, want to sleep with you within maybe the first time that they meet you, you know? So, and that's another good question I have for everybody. Men or for the ladies and gentlemen, how do you now this is a great question. How do you determine whether you really want to sleep with someone or not? When does it trigger within you like, hold up? I think I want to get intimate with this person. When does it trigger inside of you when you realize, okay, I want to be with this person? I feel like this is somebody that I'm sexually attracted to. When does sexual attraction kick in? You know, a lot of people say for men it kicks in immediately. All men want is sex. That's all they want. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think men are a little bit, no, let me not say a little bit. Men are more direct, and you understand, you know, men definitely have a stronger, let me really think. Why to me, for me personally, and I don't want to come across as controversial, but to me, things between men and women is really difficult. I think it's really difficult for a man, and I want y'all to correct me if y'all disagree. I think it's really difficult for a man to really believe that a woman is really, really into him until he knows that there's some type of sexual attraction and she's willing to engage with him physically, you know? The same way I believe a woman may be looking for commitment, hey, I want us to be together. I don't want to be with anyone else. I don't want to date anyone else. I think from a male's point of view, when a woman is willing to sleep with you and share her body with you, I think if a woman is willing to sleep with you and share her body with you, it shows that she is giving you or showing you a level of commitment. What up? Tam Pow is in the building. What up, Tam Pow? Welcome to the stream. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that or y'all disagree with that. Also, let me hit the link. All right, let me copy the link. Anybody want to jump into the stream? Tam Pow, what are some of the levels of dating? Like, what's the first level of dating in your opinion? All right. Let me I think once a man sees that a woman is interested in him like sexually, she wants to sleep with him. I think he at least realizes at that point she likes him or she's interested, you know, she definitely she's definitely attracted. That's number one. She's somewhat interested and there is a possibility for, something long term. Because I mean, as if a woman is willing to sleep with me, I wouldn't want her to just say, all right, I want to sleep with you. And then after that, we see what happens. When I was younger, maybe. But now that I'm older, no. I definitely wouldn't want that. If we're gonna we gotta we gotta be planning on doing something with each other besides just sleeping with each other. When I was young, that could fly. But at my age now, first of all, I much rather, when when you're dealing with someone, obviously as adults, you want to be in a committed relationship, and that's where I feel most comfortable. But we're speaking in general, all right? We're speaking in general, you know, and I think women know what they want, and they can tell whether they want to sleep with you, whether they want to be in a relationship with you. They definitely know when they just want to be your friend. You ain't even got to worry about that. Women will friend zone you so quick, you won't even know what happened. All right, let me see what BX says. For me, first thing, she has to be attractive and know how to carry herself. Women can be very attractive, but if they don't carry themselves correctly, it's a turnoff. I agree with you 100%. We all know that all that glitters is not gold. All that glitters is definitely not gold. Okay, Badgurl, no problem. All that glitters is definitely not gold. You have to take time to really get to know that the woman for the person that she is. No one wants to be used. No one wants to be manipulated. That goes for men and women. There should be a level of respect that we have for one another when we're going in and when we're going to engage each other in a relationship. It shouldn't be about what is it that I'm going to get from this. It's like, what can I add to, you have two people that are, okay, we find each other attractive. Now let's spend some time with each other and see if we have chemistry. All right. And at the end of the day, we just really want to have someone who's going to have our back 100%. You got my back? Yes. I got your back? Yes. All right. Now let's build on that. Let's pour into one another. Let's build on that. Let's create something between each other. We're better. I don't think do you feel like you're better off? Are you more attractive when you're single? Are you more attractive when you're with someone? Are you, do you feel like people are more successful when they're single? Are they more successful when they have a significant other? Are you happier when you're single? You have to think about all of these things when you're about to engage in a relationship with someone, especially if we're talking about marriage. It goes triple, quadruple if we're talking about marriage, You have to make sure that that phase of wanting to be single and wanting to play the field is out of your blood, you know, is out of your system. Because yeah, nobody wants to be taken advantage of. No one wants to be manipulated. No one wants to be hurt. There's enough of us already walking around with trauma from things that we've been through. We don't want to keep repeating and adding on to that trauma as we get older, because it gets harder and harder to heal. You know, a lot of us are still healing. So then you're trying to heal, but then you also have someone else inflicting more and more wounds upon you. So it can turn the most kind-hearted, sweet person very cold and jaded, and it'll make it very difficult to trust people going forward. And we don't need any more of that, because if you can't trust someone, you can't be with someone. You cannot be in a relationship with someone if you don't truly trust. And if we're walking around with trust issues, we might as well just start wasting each other's time. You know, fellas, if you're really interested in a woman, ask her, does she have trust issues? And hopefully she'll tell you the truth. And that'll let you know right there how much you need to invest into that woman. How far can things really go? Because if she has trust issues and she's not willing to work on them, that's going to be a huge problem. It's going to be a huge problem down the road. And I don't know if trust issues can just heal on their own. I think it's something that you genuinely have to work at. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't have all the answers, but I like to come up on here onto the platform, our platform, and talk about it, because I can learn from what people have to say. But do you feel like trust issues can heal on their own, or do you have to work on them, or do you need someone to help you heal when it comes to, what I mean by help you is give you someone that you can trust once again, and they literally do not let you down. You know, you also have to be careful with expectations. You know, what expectations are you placing onto this person, and are they willing and able to fulfill the expectations? You can't place expectations on people and you don't take time to really explain to them what it is that you really want, what it is that you need from them to have a happy, healthy relationship. You know, you have to get through all of this in the beginning phase. You know, the friendship phase should help alleviate a lot of this, when you're starting to transition from friends into lovers and into partners. You know, these are the things that you have to discuss. I also don't believe that you really know a person until you get into a really bad argument with them. You have to have some rainy days. If you haven't had any rainy days whatsoever, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to realize or understand if you and that person can bounce back. You know, how can you bounce back if you've never had any obstacles? Some of our best teachers are the obstacles that we face. You know, so if you are not willing to stand by my side in the storm, then yeah, that's a huge issue. That's definitely a huge issue, because just like New Edition say, we all heard the song before. Sunny days, everybody loves them. You know, everybody loves a sunny day. But when it gets down to it, can you stand the rain? Are you going to stand next to me when it's storming, when it's cold, when it's winter, when it's a tornado? And there's not enough people that are willing to stand next to people when things get rough. Okay, let me see what my man B is saying. So if I have a question, what advice would you give to men and women who have commitment, and also have you ever had, what advice would I give to men and women who have problems with commitment, and have I ever had a problem with commitment? Is that the question that you're asking me? I want to make sure that that's the question that you're asking me before I answer it. What advice would I give to men and women who have problems with commitment? And also, have I ever had a problem with commitment? Is that the question? Okay. Advice that I would give to men and women who have commitment problems. Well, first you have to examine yourself and understand why is it that you have to first realize, are you afraid to commit or do you not want to commit? You got to figure that out first. Are you afraid of commitment or do you not want to commit? If you are afraid, then there's something that you need to work on, something that you may need to heal from. If you don't want to commit, you just like, that's just not for me, then you may need a little bit more time to mature. You know, you may need a little bit more time to really weigh the value of being in a relationship with someone compared to being single. I know there's a lot of people who feel more comfortable being single. You know, a lot of people may feel more comfortable being single, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you should not. But now, if you feel more comfortable being single, then you should let that be known up front. And if you know someone is looking for something more than that, then I feel like at that point you should you may need to step a little, distance yourself from that person, because you already know that you're not even willing to provide that person with what she is looking for. And ladies too, you may not be able to want to or even be able to provide the other person what they're looking for. Okay, BX said, I'm afraid of commitment. My family had bad luck with it. Well, I mean, the things that your family has gone through, it can definitely have an effect on you, but it does not reflect on you. Damn, that was a good one. The things that your family has been through can have an effect on you, but it should not reflect on you, if you understand what I'm saying. The shortcomings of the people around you does not make up the person that you are. You're your own person. You're going to have to go through your own trials and tribulations. And ultimately, we all want to have someone to call, to be by our side, to call our own, a companion. There's no better feeling in the world than having, as a man, there's no better feeling in the world than having a good woman by your side. And I can honestly say that. And I think that that's why so many of us, we get so angry and we get so heated and we get so upset with love, because it has left us. It's the one thing that can beat us down so many times, and we'll get back up and go chase it again just for it to beat us down again. But the reason why we keep chasing it is because we know that deep down in our hearts is what we really want. You don't want to give up on it. You don't want to quit on love. Love is the key. Love is the culmination of everything that is beautiful in life. It shouldn't, and it's not a word that should be taken lightly. You take that word love it should be taken very, very seriously. So BX, I would say, don't let the things that your parents or your people in your family, anyone, the things that they've been through does not reflect on the person that you are. You can still go on, and regardless if nobody in your family has ever had a successful long-term marriage that you could remember, you could still be the first one. But you have to make sure that you're a good man. You got to make sure that you're a good person. You have to make sure that you're ready for that type of commitment. When you're ready to be in a relationship with someone and you're finished with the friendship phase and you're finished with the dating phase, now it's like you have to be prepared to be a different person, because now you have to consider your actions and you have to attach them to someone else's feelings. Where most of us are like, look, I'm grown. I do whatever I want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And as adults, we have the right to do what we want to do. That's true. But if you want to be in a relationship with someone, you're going to have to share that right and share that, share your right to do whatever you want. And you're going to have to find some type of compromise. You're going to have to find some type of middle ground where you and this other person who loves you and you love them also, where you can coexist. You can't go into a relationship looking at it as, what can I get out of this? Me personally, I don't think that that's wise to go into it saying, what can I get out of it? You want to go into it saying, what can I add to this person? How can we build something together? And once you build something with someone, once you really build something with someone, then you can realize that absolutely, BX, absolutely. Once you truly build something important with someone, you'll realize that it's not worth destroying it or letting it go over something that can be so fleeting, over something that could be so petty, over something that could be so lustful or just full of temptation. At the end of the day, you'll realize it's not worth it, because good people are hard to come by, and to have a good person in your life. I'm so thankful to have a good person in my life. To have a good person in your life is a blessing. Someone who genuinely cares about you. Someone who has your best interest at heart. And it takes me back to the conversation we had a couple of days ago about nice people finishing last. Nice people also can get the greatest rewards. Just hopefully you bump into another nice person. Two genuinely nice people bump into each other, you might be able to find heaven here on earth. Two people that are really willing to pour into each other and really willing to put forth the effort to make sure that, are you good? Let me make sure you good. And in return, it's like, okay, now let me make sure you good. And y'all going back and forth. And it's consistent. And it's genuine. That's the reason why people will allow love to fuck you up. Slap you all upside the dome piece. Throw your ass down the steps. Punch you in the mouth. Kick you in the groin. Kick you in the groin. Don't let love kick you in the groin. I take that back. Love, don't kick me in my groin. And you'll still get up and say, please, one more. Please give me another one. Because deep down, I think as long as your heart isn't jaded, long as your heart doesn't turn cold, you do realize that we're better off with our better halves. And ladies, whether you believe it or not, men and women, we are meant for one another. We were created. Well, a woman was created for a man. We're created, we are meant for one another. So shout out to all the great women out there, to all the good women. God bless each and every one of you. I'm talking about the genuinely good women who will pour into a man, and obviously you want something in return. Like, let's not get it twisted. Nobody wants to. You can give, and there's nothing wrong with wanting something in return. But it's about, what is it that you want in return is the real question. What is it that you want in return? All right. And I don't have my sound effects set up tonight. Unfortunately, before I jumped onto the show, my iPad was dead and I didn't have a chance to charge it. So we're gonna knock on the door like this. All right, we got somebody knocking on the door. Got to do it the sound effects old school way. All right. We're going to bring in a Badgurl. Snipers in the building. All right. Let's bring Badgurl in. What up, Badgurl?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful. All right. So we talking about tonight. We then got into a really good conversation. And the conversation is about the different phases of dating. When you go from the friendship, when you go from the courting stage, when you go from the getting to know each other to the friendship, from the friendship to the dating, from the dating to the relationship. So from a woman's point of view, the first question is, well, you answered it, but I want you to elaborate on it a little bit. You said you agree with me with what I said earlier, that friendship is the best foundation. So from your point of view, why do you feel like friendship is the best foundation?
For me, I feel that way because if you can't be friends with this person before you bring in the intimacy and the sex, it can cloud what your actual feelings are. You can confuse, do you actually feel love for this person or do you have lust for this person?
Okay.
Because they make you feel good physically. So I feel like when you are friends first, there's no ulterior motive. You're just friends.
Okay.
And then letting it evolve naturally.
All right. Let me see.
And then
Larry.
you can be, then you end up with something even better because you get to spend your life with someone who you're already great friends with.
Right.
You just get to add to it.
Ashley Larry said friendship is definitely the best way to start a relationship. That is if you plan on sticking around this person. Absolutely. I agree with you. Okay, so now here's a very interesting question. You just said, and I agree with you, and I think a lot of people would agree that friendship is, if not the best, one of the best, or one of the greatest ways to start a relationship. All right. So now the second question is, and I just thought of it right now, and it leaves me a little perplexed. If most of us feel, if a lot of people, or if you feel that friendship is the best foundation, then what is the point of going on dates? Because I don't think many people go on dates looking for friendship. So isn't dating automatically skipping over the friendship, which is counterproductive? And we all of us, not just us, our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents have been dating and courting each other for a very long time. But now that I think about it, if friendship is the best foundation, then, and most people don't go into a dating scenario looking for friendship. Most of the time people go into dating looking for love. Would you deem it to be counterproductive?
Yes, I feel like it's kind of doing it backwards.
Okay.
And maybe once in a while it does work out, and that's great for whoever that works out for.
I mean, I think it's worked out for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I feel like it also can be bad for a lot of people too, especially more nowadays.
All right, let's see what Ashley. I want you to continue. Dates are getting to know the person, seeing if you are compatible with that person. I agree with you, Ashley Larry. You're absolutely right. But for you to ask a woman out on a date, I'm speaking from the man's point of view. For a man to ask a woman out on a date, there's already something about her that he likes. Or what would be the point of him asking her, like, it's already something that he's attracted to. So now that makes me ponder to myself, the same type of attraction that you have for your friends is not the same type of attraction that you would have for someone that you're attracted to romantically. So it still leads me to kind of like, okay, so if I'm already attracted to you physically, wouldn't that kind of cloud my getting to know you and wanting to be your friend? Because there's something underneath the surface that's also, sizzling in my spirit. Like, yeah, I want to get to know you, but damn, I really want to get to know you. you know. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, Ashley Larry. I'm just asking, like, what are your thoughts on that? But okay, back to you, bad girl. So you saying that you said the last thing you said was you do feel like it's counterproductive because you feel like you're going at it backwards.
Yeah, and that could just be a personal preference because for some people it might work out better for them to just jump right into the relationship scene and the romance part of um, marriages and stuff.
Right.
And maybe it's more of an extroverted thing. I don't know. But for me, I'm more comfortable getting to know you as my friend and not having any kind of expectation or need to impress.
Right. I was
It
about to
just feels
say
more
something.
natural
Right.
for
What
me.
I was about to say about romance is romance eventually fades out.
Right.
You cannot sweep your woman off of her feet every day.
Right.
like you shouldn't even have the desire to want to sweep your woman off of her feet every day. The romance is going to die out, and it's going to die out in one or two ways. Either the man is going to get tired of it because it's like, okay, I cannot maintain this forever, so I can't make this I can't make every day like a Disney fairy tale movie, or it's going to become so commonplace that the woman is going to start to see it as mundane. And then what was once special and extraordinary has now become ordinary.
Right.
You know, and then once it becomes ordinary, if you feel like you're giving 100%, how much more of 100 can you give? You know, you're giving 100% to make sure every day is special. So I just think it's a good question. You know, like, is dating does dating work?
I think for some people it does, but I think that an issue that at least that I experience in my community and culture in Utah is that dating is an absolute must, and that if you don't, you're never going to get married. And
Dating
it's
is an
it's
absolute
very
must.
stressed upon to get married soon after high school and to start a family. And in order to do that, you have to hang out with single people and date.
Right.
They actually have a church program specifically for single adults to go to after they graduate high school, where all these single adults go to it together. I never did that because to me that's like I
Yeah, I
felt
was gonna
like
say,
it
do
would
you
be
agree with that or disagree with that?
no, I disagree with it because I feel like it's putting me on display. Like, hey, I'm here and I'm single and I'm trying to find a husband.
Would you feel
That's
like
just unnatural to me.
do you feel like the best selection of men would be in a church?
There's great men in the church, of course, but there's also a lot of they're very young at that age. You're under 25 in those programs.
Right.
And a lot of the guys in that church, it's as a Christian thing, you don't have sex till you're married. So a lot of them are thinking about, I want to have sex. So they want to get married as soon as they can with the first girl that'll give them attention. I've seen it happen. They get married at 19 and 20
For the wrong
and
reason.
they seem
You,
happy for a couple years, and then I see them again and they're like, oh yeah, we got divorced. Every single every female that I was in church with growing up, they've all been divorced.
okay.
Maybe
So,
there's a couple that haven't, but most of them have gotten divorced because they got married young.
all right. So that leads me to another really good question then. What do you think is the optimal age for a woman to get married? And what's, in your opinion, the right age for a man to even, what's the right age for men and women separately to start considering marriage? What do you feel is too young for men and women? And what would be the right age, in your opinion, for a woman and for men?
I think you should at least be in your 20s before you get married.
I can agree with that.
At least. I think if you still have teen at the end of your age, you shouldn't be getting married.
Okay. All right. Yes,
I
I
just
can.
think it's too young, and I think that you need to figure out, you're fresh out of high school, where high school has been your focus for 4 years, and you have been your only focus for 18 years. You have
Right.
to come out of high school and be thrown into the pool of adults.
Right.
And
And what woman coming right out of high school has been taught how to be a wife?
not very
I
many.
don't think many have been taught how to be a wife, especially if we talk about 2023.
Yeah, it can depend on your family values, and maybe like my religion really stressed about that kind of stuff of being a good wife and mother and all that. But even then, I feel like you need time to have fun and do things for yourself. You're not doing things for your parents anymore because you're an adult. You're not doing it to impress your teachers anymore. You're just figuring out what you like in the real world. What are your hobbies? What
Who
do
are
you want to
you?
be when you grow up? Yeah. Do you want to go to school? Do you not want to go to school?
Right.
And when
Because
you're
you're like,
when you're in a relationship or focusing on boys, because at that age they're boys. When you're focusing on boys, that's going to be what you think about.
okay.
Because especially in that age range, you're like in la la land when you're in love. Like, oh, he's everything, and everything else just kind of becomes mute.
Right. Not knowing that you're probably going to visit La La Land about 15 more times.
I actually have an example.
Okay.
I had a friend, and she had a church mission that she was going to go on to New York, New York, paid
Okay.
for.
All right.
She was so excited to go. She had everything ready. She couldn't wait to see New York and the winter time and all this stuff. Like, she loved New York, and she was so excited to finally go see it. And then 2 months later, she announces that she's engaged and she's
Okay.
no longer going to go at 19. And to me, my concern with that is she still could have gone. Couldn't he have waited a
Wait a
year?
minute. Wait. You gotta help us understand. So she announced that she wasn't going, but what was the reason why?
Because she got engaged
Right.
and
So
he
why
wanted
couldn't
to
they
get
go to New York?
married.
Why couldn't they
He
go to
wanted
New
to get
York
married
together?
now because it was a mission. So she and another female would go together. It was
Oh,
for a
okay.
church thing,
Oh, okay. So you're saying that
not like
she
a
chose?
vacation. Yeah,
Are
it
you
was.
saying that she chose not to go, or he forbid her to go?
I don't know their relationship and I wasn't there, but from my perspective, seeing how excited she was, watching her cry when she got the call of where she was going to go, she was so excited and passionate about it. And for her to just switch like that within a month's time, throw all that out the window to plan a wedding
Okay.
when
Now,
she was
did
only
this?
going to be gone 18 months. She could have come back after
Oh, no,
doing
no, no,
that
no. Hold on.
and
You
planned
left.
the
That's
wedding.
a huge caveat you left out, though. 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't. If you in love with somebody and y'all thinking about being together, you can't up and leave for 18 months. No, I can't. Yeah, I agree with her now. She was right to not go on the trip. New York ain't going nowhere, but your opportunity to find someone to love you for the rest of your life can definitely go somewhere. New York ain't never going nowhere.
I
So,
I totally get what you're saying.
okay.
I get what you're saying. And I think if you we'll have to probably have a talk about this, but when it comes to
Speak your
New York
piece.
isn't going anywhere, yes.
Yes, New York is not
But the
going nowhere.
opportunity that she had to go on this mission to New York for this purpose, not just for a vacation, it was for a church mission.
Okay.
She threw that away. This guy was the same religion as her. So I don't get why they couldn't have, gotten engaged, but why can't she still go?
Because it was
They can
18
write,
months. It was 18
but it's
months.
not forever.
No.
And it was
No.
important to her.
Right. I get it. I completely understand. Did this marriage work out?
Yeah, actually it did.
Oh,
She
so
was
did she
one of the
make
ones that did work out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you don't believe that she made the right decision? She has a husband that loves her to this day, and you saying that she should have put it in jeopardy so she could come see New York City? I don't know about that one, bad girl. I think if at 19, you said she was 19?
Yeah. And maybe, maybe
how-
at the time, now that I'm saying it out loud and talking about it with somebody else, it does sound a little ridiculous.
Yeah, because
And
you can always come visit New York with your husband.
right. So I can see it, verbalizing it out loud with a different mindset that I have now than I did
Right.
13
Now,
years
if you would
ago
have
when I
told
felt
me,
this way.
right, if you would have told me that the marriage, he never married her and it didn't work out, then I would have said, okay, maybe she should have went on with the mission from her church and fulfilled whatever it is that she had obligated herself to fulfill. And, maybe he could have waited. But the fact that you telling me that they're actually still together, oh no, New York can wait. New York can wait forever because you cannot there. It's not even a nowhere near even trade-off. You have a husband that's going to love you from 19 to whatever age she is now compared to 18 months in New York City. You can always come back to New York City when, you can come back to New York City as a family.
I stand corrected. You have changed my mind.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. I agree with what you're saying, and I didn't look at it like that. And I think a lot of it is I haven't thought about this until tonight. So I'm mostly going off of how I used to feel 15 years ago.
Right.
Maybe not 15 years ago, like 10 years ago about the situation.
Okay, so she's
I'm at a
like
different
29
mindset
now?
Probably like
30?
something like that.
29, 30?
Yeah.
In actuality, bad girl, she did the right thing because
Yeah,
at 19
I agree. I can
at
see
19,
that
20, yeah, you want to start focusing on if you want to be that type of woman, if you want to be a mother and a wife and a housewife, and that's what you aspire to be at 19, 20, 21, that's when you should start working on it.
Yeah.
You don't want to start working on it when you're 35 years old. You don't. You can, but that's not the most favorable time to start working on. Let's see what Ashley Larry had to say.
I agree.
A year and a half is a long time, no matter what your religious or life views are. The human heart will be tempted to find what it wants. Yes, absolutely, Ashley Larry. Now, yeah, I think that a lot of people, men and women, they start to think about settling down and marriage and kids and all of those things. They start worrying about and thinking about those things a little bit too late in life. I think you need to start to focus on those things. If you know that that's something that you really want for your life. And that's why I do believe you do need a little time to find yourself and understand who you are before you just jump right into a marriage. But you don't want to wait until you're over 30, 35 years old to start thinking about, okay, it's time for me to think about settling down.
Oh,
Men
for sure, yeah.
Men can get away with it a little bit more because men can, I don't know how old a man can be to still create life, but I'm pretty sure a man could be over 55 and still have, maybe a couple of bullets left in in his gun, a little bit of gas left in the tank. But now when you flip, Right, but when you flip the scenario, what up, A Baddie's in the building. On guard, reverse it. What up, A Baddie? I don't have the sound effects tonight, so I gotta do it myself. A Baddie's in the building. All right. Yeah. But for a woman, when you reverse it, yeah, it's a different timeline for women. You know, a woman talking about at 45 years old, okay, I'm thinking about having a child. You gonna get some weird looks when you even open your mouth to say that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not, this is no disrespect to any woman who has had has had children at an older age, but it is a greater risk. It's a greater risk, and I think it's definitely something that young women need to consider. And I think that a lot of women now, they don't see marriage as valuable as it used to be. But
Definitely, yeah.
I don't think they see it as valuable as it used to be. And independently, that can be because you're independent. You don't have, because you're gonna have to listen to your husband. You're gonna have to consider what he's saying and how he feels. You're gonna have to listen and allow him to regulate you to a certain extent. So
Yeah.
if you're not willing to give up that type of independence, then yeah, I can understand why a lot of women like, look, I'm not getting married. I'm making my money. I could do this on my own. I don't need no man to tell me what to do. What up? Tom is in the building. WCIS. Acknowledge me. What up, Tom? What's going on, my brother? All right, I finally got your intro. I wasn't too deep in the conversation. Tom, you have been acknowledged. We the ones. Now I completely lost my train. Completely lost my train of thought, y'all. No, A Baddie, don't try to steal his intro. Oh, okay, now I'm back. Yeah, so at 45 years old and older, of course, yeah, you can still have children, but it is definitely you going up a tougher mountain when you try to do that at that age. And yeah, it's definitely a health risk. It's just not. It may not be the most favorable thing for you to do. So I think
definitely not.
And as men, yeah, we have a little bit more time, but I think if you don't want a woman that's looking to be with you once you get to the finish line, then at a young age, you need to build something with a woman where by the time y'all can reach that finish line together, it's either one or the other. If you're a very successful man, then you're going to have to deal with the fact that, okay, this woman may be with me because I'm very successful. It's not because she really, really loves me. It's because I'm successful and I can provide for her. And as a man, that does make you feel good. But it also gives you a little bit of doubt. Like, if I didn't have all of these things, would this person still be with me? So if you don't want to have that doubt in your relationship, then at a very young age, you got to pull a woman close to you and y'all got to start building something together at a young age where she's not waiting for you at the finish line. Y'all cross the finish line hand in hand. And I believe if you do that with a woman, I don't think there's too many temptations that will make you feel like you're ready to throw that out the window for a night or a weekend of temptation. Because you'll realize it's not worth it. And for all the fellas that are listening to this, let me know, what age did you realize it's not worth it? What age did the gentleman in the chat realize, you know what? It looked good, but it ain't worth it. At what age did you reach that level of maturity? That's the question I have for the gentleman. And even for you too, and for the ladies too, and for you too, Badgurl. At what point did you realize, you know what, he might look good, this and that, but nah, he ain't the one. It ain't worth it.
Oh, recently.
Recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like within the last year, I've realized that.
Right. And what made you come to that realization? He said for him it was 27. Let me see.
Um,
Tom said somewhere in my 20s. Ashley said early 20s. BX said for me it was 27. And a Baddie said for her it was 28 years old. What about you, bad girl?
well, for me, I would say a lot of it is because of what their actions and their attitudes showed me. Despite how fit they were or, how great they looked, really just kind of went away when I learned their attitude and their actions. Just the kind of person that they were. And I realized 90% of the men that look like these underwear models were extremely immature and self-absorbed.
Right, because they've been in a candy store their whole life.
Yes, and you pointed this out to me because we had a conversation about this over Instagram. I was feeling really down about it. And you pointed it out to me that I just lost my train of thought.
Join the club. Join the club. Acknowledge me.
Epilepsy moment. Okay. Hold on. You're going to have to give me a minute. I just lost my train of thought.
All right. It'll come back to you.
Sorry about that. But
you said we were having a conversation.
Yes.
And I mentioned it to you about we were talking about it's not worth it.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I remember what you said, but I can't think exactly what it was. I don't remember exactly what it was, but what you said made perfect sense to me and showed me that these kind of guys don't usually exist. The ones that, look like Calvin Klein models and then they turn out to be jerks.
Right.
So I had to start looking differently. Instead of, saying, wow, all men are such jerks. Well, maybe it's just the men that I keep choosing.
Right. Hold on one second. Joanna. What up, Jojo? I don't got the sound effects, so I'm doing them Acapulco. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Joanna. But before you finish, bad girl, let me read what Tom, he said, the ones that'll be for you are not wrapped in a pretty bow. Jesus Christ. Let me I'm gonna start that comment.
Yeah, that's
because
extremely
that's one
true.
of the best comments of tonight, y'all. I'm gonna let that stay up on the screen for a while. The ones that'll be for you are not wrapped up in a pretty bow.
Yep. It's the unexpected, I think.
It's usually the ones that you don't expect. And it's usually the ones that are not appeasing as appeasing to your eyes, but more appeasing to your heart and your soul.
Yes.
When someone is able to bring you solace, when someone is able to bring you tranquility and peace and allow you to be yourself, someone who allows you to see, not just to be yourself, but someone who allows you to see yourself. Sometimes you can be with someone and you will like yourself better because you are with them. You will see more worth in yourself because of the worth and the value that they see in you. That is why men and women, we're meant for one another, because we are each other's greatest motivators and we're also each other's greatest weaknesses. And that's why we also go at each other's necks. That's also why we hate each other so much. To truly, truly hate someone, most of the time is because at some point you loved something about them. Think about when you really felt like somebody really, really did you wrong. It's usually because at some point you felt like they would never do that to you.
Right.
Because you loved them or you believe that they loved you. So you feel devastated that they would do something like that to you. Most of the time when you truly hate someone, despise someone, it's because at some point you loved that person, and now you can't wrap your mind and your heart around the fact that they did you. Tove is my advocate. My name is Tove Heyman. Yeah, it's because you can't believe that they that they've done something like that to you. Ashley Larry, you said earlier, all that glitters ain't gold. Absolutely. You know, and that's what he said by saying it's not always wrapped up in a nice, pretty bow.
Yeah.
No. And when someone is able to bring those things into your life and you truly believe like this person has my back no matter what, then it should be easy for you to transition from that friendship phase to the next phase. So now, Badgurl, from your womanly point of view, after the friendship phase, what should be the next phase? Because I think this is where a lot of people go wrong. I really believe a lot of people go wrong right here.
I can tell you what I don't think should be the next phase.
All right, go ahead.
Is immediately sex.
That's true.
Because if you go straight to the sex after friendship, it could ruin your whole entire friendship if there was no desire for a relationship. Because if you're such great friends with this person and you're starting to feel like maybe this person's someone that I could see myself with, I think it's important to fill that out, see if there's the chemistry, and then talk about it with them.
Right. And I think that conversation is something
into sex.
I think that conversation is something that's usually left out.
Yes, because it's a hard conversation to have. People are scared of rejection.
Yes, especially from someone that you care about, which is your friend. It's different if a stranger, someone that you don't know, rejects you.
Right.
But now, if your friend rejects you, now you could also be you're losing a potential lover, and you're also losing a friend. And usually when some type of sexual tension is being built up between men and women in the friendship stage, you've already thought about, damn, how would it be to be with this person? It's already ran across your mind. So naturally, as humans, we want to explore that curiosity once the barrier of friendship has been broken. You've been able to establish between you and that person that, okay, we like one another. There's an attraction between us. Naturally, I think, okay, let's explore the attraction. And I think at that point, from friendship going into whatever the next phase should be, I don't think you should explore the attraction. I think you should explore the dynamic of your relationship. What is the dynamic going to be now? Are we going to maintain our friendship? Are we still going to remain the same type of friends? Are we still going to be able to have the same type of conversations? Are you still going to be able to tell me about, when you went on a date with this guy or whatever it may be? Or now are we trying to be exclusive and now we got to be mindful to each other's feelings and what we say, and the friendship has to evolve. The friendship has to change in some type of way. And I think without that conversation being had, I think that's when that transition from friendship into dating, the talking stage. I don't know what you people want to call it, but y'all know what I mean. Before you get to a committed relationship, that dating phase, without that conversation being had, I think that's what gets lost in translation. And people jump right into that. Well, now that we've established that we like one another and we're attracted to one another, let's go and attack this curiosity that we've been holding back. And I think people attack it because they've been holding it back for so long.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I did. And ultimately it ruined our friendship. Or a chance to have a friendship.
Joanna said, or when that relationship turns into a best friend relationship. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done. I believe it can be done. But I think it's a little bit more difficult that way, but it can be done. If you jump into the attraction and the sex and the intimacy first, and then try to build the friendship after. Joanna, how were you able to do that? Cause let me really think about this myself. See, it's kind of different for me because I'm pondering my own self because I've dated a lot of people, and I've always tried to live in both worlds. Like I'm dating you, but I'm also trying to be your friend. But you gotta pick a side, Tovi. You gotta pick a side. Like you can't try to live in both of those worlds because once the sex is already initiated, I think the friendship is the friendship at that point is altered. That's the word I'll use. The friendship is altered.
Is Joanna saying like after you've established friendship, then you establish a best friendship relationship, or
she's saying or when a relationship turns into a best friend relationship.
So when you're already in the relationship and then you become best friends?
Right. So you're saying, Joanna, you're saying y'all are in a relationship and y'all become best friends within the relationship? Or are you saying you're in a relationship with someone, y'all break up and then become best friends after the relationship? Because if I break up with a young lady, we ain't being best friends after the relationship. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. We're not being best friends. No, we're not going to be best. We're not going to be the best of anything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, we're not going to be the best of anything. We could be acquaintances. We could be cool. We could be cordial, but we're not going to be the best of anything. I know myself well enough to know that's not going to work because I don't really have that many friends. So I definitely don't have too many best friends. And at this point now, if I'm in a relationship with you and I had to break up with you for some reason, you must have really did something bad to me. And I don't want to be your best friend after that.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be your best friend after that because now it's skewered. Mm-hmm. And it's not gonna feel natural to me. It's not gonna feel right to me. It's gonna feel forced. It's gonna feel phony. And I'm not genuinely going to be your best friend.
Yeah, being cordial and, whatever. Okay, that's great. But also you have to think about your future partners because or partner. Because how would they feel if they think that your best friend is someone that you used to sleep with?
I mean, you leave it up to most women, they'll be like, everything is perfectly fine. He's just my friend. No. He's just my friend. He don't want to do nothing with me.
And even, I understand that if a woman feels that way, because, like with my ex, I could be cordial and be friends, but I would never classify him as a best friend. Not just because, first of all, I don't feel that way, but also because it's extremely disrespectful to the person he's with now.
That's true. And there's another reason.
Yes, because we had a sexual attraction at one point. There's a history.
Exactly. You have a sexual history with this person.
Yes. So that just like with how we used to, we met on the game system. If I were to game, play a round of Battlefield with him or whatever, I would never get in a party chat with him again. I would never hang out with him alone or sit in private message. None of that would go on. There would always be a whole group of friends because I would never want to disrespect their relationship, the relationship he's in now.
Right.
But I can still be cordial. I have no need to be bitter or angry. That's all in the past. But still, just because I don't feel those feelings for him anymore or he doesn't feel those feelings for me, that doesn't make it not disrespectful to her.
Right. Absolutely.
It's just inappropriate.
Right.
Whether you feel a certain way or not, that doesn't matter. It's just the bottom line is it's inappropriate. So yeah, definitely not best friends after. I agree with you there.
Right.
Cannot be
Yeah,
best friends after.
I'm not being no best friends afterwards. Because also I think that is very difficult for men and women to be best friends.
Yes, and it not to go further.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's
Mhm.
very difficult. Unless the female best friend that you're talking about is maybe like the wife of your friend. You
Right.
know, that's what I'm
Couple
saying. Like,
friends.
right. So like, and even with that, like, I could never say me and Hev's wife are best friends. I would never say that.
Right.
I wouldn't even allow it. I wouldn't allow me, and that's just me. I wouldn't allow myself to befriend my friend's wife. No. I'm
Not
not
on
gonna.
that
I
not
have
on
no
that level,
desire
yeah.
to be my friend's wife's friend. None whatsoever. I'll be nice. I'll be cordial. I'll laugh and joke, but friends is like talking to each other without the other person present, going out with each other without the other person present. Nah, I don't play those type of games. I've had people play those type of games with
Yeah,
me and women that I've been involved with, and I didn't like it at all, and I never will. It's disrespectful,
it is.
especially. Nah, I ain't even gonna get into that. I'm gonna get triggered. I had to calm myself down because I just that's just something that I really do not like. It's not too many things that I cannot forgive a person for, but stuff like that, nah, I can't rock with that. 100% I cannot rock with that. So let me ask you a question, all right? Who do you feel Wait a minute, we didn't even get into that. All right, so you said what not to do. So then after the friendship phase, what should you do? And then I'll get into the next question. You said I'll tell you what not to do. So after that friendship phase, what would be the next thing you feel like those two people should do?
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
That's easier said than done, of course, because it
Is
can be, for me, I'm really shy. So I overthink things on, okay, what should I say? How should I say this? Should I say this? Maybe I shouldn't say this. Like, that's me. That's my head going through my head is, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should say this. So then I kind of just don't know what to say.
Okay.
So I try and just observe
All right.
before. You want to observe their behavior, seeing if it's following yours. If you're having feelings for this person or thinking that maybe this could be something, just become observant. You don't necessarily have to outright say something just because you're feeling it.
All right.
Observe. See, if there's a vibe back and forth before you just explode and say everything that you're feeling. Because that might not be the correct feeling. It might have just been in that moment you felt that.
Right. All right. Hold on. Let me bring Ashley Larry's comment up. I missed a lot of what should be done. If you're feeling a person and you get the vibe that the feeling is mutual, act upon them.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. When you're feeling somebody and you feel like the feeling is mutual, I mean, in that situation, you have everything to gain and really nothing to lose. Because even if the person, well, see, you have to be a very mature person because a lot of us, including myself, Lord knows I do not like rejection. But you have to be very mature. If that person rejects you, now can you fall back into that same place where y'all was cool as friends? Some people can, and I know some people can't.
Yeah.
Me, if I really and I say, yo, I really like somebody, and they like, nah, I'm not feeling you like that. So I don't think I would be able to settle back into the same place that I was before I said that. I'm being honest with
which is
I'm
why
being
you'd
honest with
want to make
everybody and honest
sure
with myself.
you'd want to make sure that you felt, not that you felt, but that you could see by their behavior and things that they say to you and do and whatever, before you just jump in.
Right.
You want to make sure, okay, is this worth it? Like, do I really feel like there could be something from this?
Right.
Then yes, it's worth it. I'm gonna talk to them about it
Right.
and see what they're thinking, or maybe just ask them for clarity.
Yes,
Is
that's
it
very
normal
true.
that I'm feeling like this, or I might be feeling like this? Do you just communicate with them. Tell them what you're feeling or thinking or
Right.
possibly feeling,
Yeah, I
which
agree.
of
I
course
think
is easier said than done.
yeah, it
But
is always easier said than done. But I agree. I think after the talking, I mean after the friendship phase, and if you're trying to get into that dating phase, I think you have to make sure that, like I said earlier, you have to make sure that the connection and the chemistry between the two of you can, hold on, let me bring up JoJo's. No, it's a lasting relationship. It's the best thing. Okay. Um yeah, I think that you have to make sure that the relationship, or you have to make sure that the friendship is strong enough for things to be able to go back to the way they were if you're going to express it. And if you know that the feeling is mutual, then you have to just go ahead and discuss it and make sure that, I think you need to discuss what the end game is.
right.
Now that we've established this, okay, what is it that this person wants compared to what this person wants? And I think once you do that, then you can go ahead and go into the whatever direction and what road y'all want to go into. Because, you know, every person that you like is not meant to be in a relationship with you.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that that's a lesson I had to learn. Now that I'm really thinking about it. Every person that you like is not meant to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Sometimes it may meant to be something physical for the betterment of both of y'all, for the betterment of you. He might tickle your fancy.
Teach you some things.
He might make you feel good in some ways, but deep down that he's not the one that you want to marry. And women have those feelings too. Women know that, yeah, I can have fun with him this weekend. A lot of women might not. Well, more and more women are starting to admit this train of thought now. But a lot of women may not want to admit that they see men that way, but they do. I believe women see men that way also. I think that is definitely stronger when it comes to a man looking at a woman that way, but it does exist on the opposite end of the spectrum. So it's all about having an honest conversation. Yes, it's all about having an honest conversation. So my next question for you, Badgurl, and for a question for everybody in the chat: who you think plays more games when it comes to relationships, men or women? Who's
I think
playing?
it's
Who's playing more
equal.
games out here on the sexual battlefield?
I think it's equal amounts. There's lots of men who do it. There's lots of women who do it. I think women try and play victim when they get caught playing games, or they try and justify it like, well, I'm a woman, I can do this. But if a man does this, well, then that's abuse. That's a head game. But a woman just has the right to do it because she's a woman. She can treat the man this way and play games with him because she's the woman. And a lot of women have that mindset, especially nowadays.
Okay.
And so I think women can play just as bad of games as a man can. It's the person, the type
I would
of
put it the other
person
way.
you
I
are.
think they could play just as good. Y'all might even be better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
I believe that men are forced to play more games than women, because the reason why men are forced to play more games than women when it comes to dating is because most women already have a preconceived notion of what men want. So they have to pretend that that's not what they want. You're trying to make her believe that you don't want what you really want. So you gotta play some type of games if you're really trying to make someone that truly believes all you want to do is sleep with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not all you want to do, but that is what you want to do. But you have to try to convince the person, the woman, that that's not what you want to do, or it doesn't really make a difference if we do or not, when it definitely does. You know? So, yeah, I think men have to play more games than women because women are in control of what men want. And I think men hunt after what they want more vigorously than women hunt after what they want. I think women want commitment. They want relationships. And most men, they want relationships and they want commitment. But if you ask a man, would you be in a relationship with a woman who is dead ass celibate? She not sleeping with you. There's no chance of her sleeping with you unless you get married to her. Most men are going to be like, nah, I'm not going to date her. Because you're taking the main, yeah, I got to say how it is. You're taking the main thing that most men are after off the table. So once you take that off the table, yeah, what is he hunting now? You know, just like if a man says to a woman, regardless of how well we get along, regardless of how good the sex is, no matter if we together for 20 years and we are blissful, I'm never going to commit to you and I'm never going to marry you. A woman would be like, well, then I don't care how happy I am. I can't stay.
Yeah.
I can't stay. I can't do that. I can't. But I'm going to make you happy. I'm going to make sure that you're happy. I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of. But I'm just letting you know, I'll never be yours.
I think there should be a commitment. It doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but there should be some kind of exclusivity.
Right. No, he's telling you there's going to be no exclusivity at all. But I'm going to make sure that you're as happy as you can ever be. But I'm just letting you know, you have to deal with the fact that you can never call me yours.
Oh, I meant like for like sex, before sex, not being celibate, but I mean like you need to have some form of exclusivity or commitment or something before you just do that.
Well, if a man can provide all of those things that I just described, that man plays with a different set of rules. Because I just said that man is going to be able to take care of you, make sure you've well taken care of. You're always going to be happy. You're never going to want for anything. This man's going to treat you better than any man that ever treated you before in your life. You're going to be happy forever with this guy. This guy is going to do everything for you, but he's never going to say it's me and you. I'm never going to commit to you. So that man is playing by a different set of rules because he can do whatever the hell he wants. He ain't gotta date you ahead of time. No, he don't have to. Because he's on a different level.
No, that's I see what you're saying. I think I'm talking about the comment before versus this guy that you're referring to now.
Oh, okay. What was the comment? What comment
about a guy not wanting to be with someone who wants to be celibate till they marry you?
Oh, okay. So
is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So let's say a young man meets a woman. He's not ready for marriage, but he's attracted to her. But she like, look, we'll have sex when we get married, and I think we should get married in 5 years. Most men are not going to, unfortunately, and unfortunately, most women are not going to stick with that man. It's like, yo, I'm gonna treat you like a queen, but you can't never call me yours. Like, I'm not going to commit to you because women want commitment and men control if you're in a relationship or not. The man controls that, and women control if a man is going to be able to sleep with them or not.
Right.
So, it may not be, if you look at it, it may not, I don't know if people look at it as an even trade-off, but that's the differences between men and women. Women want certain things and men want certain things.
I think it's called making love for a reason, because you do it with the person you love.
You're creating that love between each other. You're making love. Yeah, yes. That's true. That's true. Um,
And if it feels right and you feel like you both love each other, then as adults, you know, you can make that decision. But
all right. Ashley Larry says, so here's the question on the table. All right. I gotta let's be ready for this question.
I'm
All
ready
right.
for a question.
All right, Ashley Larry, what's the question, bro? I know you always come with some good questions. A Baddie said, women play the games better. Yeah, women may play the games a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Are we playing by an unrealistic set of rules in regarding relationships? I think in the world that we live in now, we're starting to play by a very unrealistic set of rules because I'm starting to hear women
Yeah.
say, look, if a guy has a job, I'm not interested in him. It's like I
What?
can't deal with a guy who makes less than $100,000 a year. I want a guy who's 6 feet tall. I want him to be in the shape of an athlete. I want him to make $90,000 a year. I don't want him to have any kids. It's like who
No.
the who the fuck are you looking for? Like, who the fuck are you looking for? So yeah, I think that definitely the rules are being set, and then also the dynamic of masculine and feminine is being flipped on its head. And once you flip masculine and feminine on their heads, the rules are completely out the window. Because I don't know any woman who likes a feminine man.
Yeah.
Like, for all the ladies in the chat, anyone who will ever watch this, if y'all can leave it in the comment section after it goes up on the YouTube. If y'all tell me that y'all like a feminine man, I want you to explain to me what about this feminine man you like. I'm not talking about a sensitive man or emotional man. I'm talking about a feminine man. You a straight woman, but you like a feminine man? Because I know as a straight man, I definitely do not like a masculine woman. If you yelling and cursing and you loud and I'm good. You could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but if you have those masculine traits, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and pass. I'm good. All right, I see A Baddie in the background. Make sure you got your camera and everything on right. All right, make sure you got your camera. Make sure your voice is nice and clear. Make sure everything is good. All right, make sure you focused. All right, but so yeah, I definitely feel like what do you think about that, Badgurl?
About a feminine man?
No, are we playing
Oh.
by unrealistic set of rules regarding relationships? The word
Yes.
monogamous, is it unrealistic in today's society? All right, that's the next question. Go ahead, Badgurl.
Unrealistic set of rules. I don't really know how to answer that. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
All right, what about Ashley Larry's second question right here? The word monogamous, is it unrealistic in today's society?
I think it's less common. I think it's very realistic, but people are not making it important.
I think women have to make it important.
Yeah.
I think women have to make it important because women control sex. So if monogamy is no longer important, who cheapened it? If it's not valued, who cheapened it?
Because women nowadays are getting this mentality that they don't need men. They can do everything themselves. I can be single and do things for myself and all this other stuff.
Which is true.
Which is great to be like happy single and stuff. That's great. But when you say that you can do all those, when you say you can do all those things by yourself, that you don't need man, I don't believe that.
Right. That's the biggest red flag to me. If a woman, I don't need no man for nothing.
It's good to be happy and then find somebody to add to your happiness. It isn't good if you're always sad and you feel like you need somebody to make you happy.
I think it's admirable to be independent.
Yes. Yes, that's a good way to say it.
Let me see. Not stirring the pot, but if we're supposed to be monogamous, why is it that we still can have feelings for another person? If we're supposed to be monogamous, why is it we still have feelings for another person? I don't think that we are supposed to be monogamous. I think that we find someone who allows us to be monogamous. That's the best way I could put it. You have to find naturally most men without any naturally I can only speak from the man's point of view. Naturally, if a woman says, "Hey Tovi, if I'm not in a relationship, and a woman calls me at 11:45 at night and she's like, "Hey Tovi, what you doing tonight?" "I'm not doing anything." "All right, well, I want to come over and see you tonight." And I'm single. I'm probably going to say, "All right, you can come over." If it's somebody that I already know and maybe we've already slept together, or maybe we've never slept together, but we know each other. I find her to be attractive. She finds me to be attractive. Most likely, I'm going to say, if I'm single, yeah, no problem. Come on over. Because that's just that's a man's nature. You know, come on over. Sure. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? You know, now, mind you, I'm not talking about if she's coming to rob me or set me up or no craziness like that. She just coming to see me, come spend time with me, be my company. You know, yeah, most likely I'm going to say yes. But if you find the right person, then you will realize that it's worth the monogamous side of you that may have been dormant when you were single. When you have the right person in your life, you'll realize that it's not worth saying yes, because you're going to throw away a lot more than what you're going to gain. So I think you have to find the right person that leads you into monogamy, that allows you to feel comfortable within it. And then there it is, a man's nature. So are we going against our nature? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. For a man to turn down sex is going against his nature. I agree with that 100%. But a good woman will make you go against your nature. It happens all the time. But yes, I agree with you, Ashley Larry. You are going. I believe men are going against their nature. I can't speak for a woman, but what about you? What do you think about that, Badgurl?
I think that, of course, you're going to find other people physically attractive. That's normal. You know, you can appreciate that somebody looks good. But it's avoiding putting yourself in a vulnerable or dangerous position.
All right.
Or your marriage in a dangerous position. For example, hanging out with somebody of the opposite sex alone ever is inappropriate.
So does that mean that you feel like men and women can never be friends?
No.
So
what I'm saying is if you're in a relationship and you say me, I'll use me. If I'm in a relationship with a guy,
right,
I'm not going to go have one-on-one time with another guy.
Right. So then what if that guy is just your friend? What's the difference between you hanging out with your girlfriend?
That's disrespectful, especially if he's single.
Okay, so then that means that you don't see that man as a friend.
Right.
So then you believe that men and women can't be friends.
Not if they're in relationships.
That was some real good word gymnastics you used there.
But what I'm saying is, like, you just have to be careful and not put yourself in those vulnerable positions, because if you're allowing yourself to be in a position to bond with somebody that isn't your spouse, then that's dangerous, because we are human and we do naturally bond with people that we hang out with or spend time with or talk to a lot. So it's best to avoid any potential dangerous situation.
Right, I feel you. I feel you. I was just playing around with you a little bit. What up,
Oh.
Valente? What's going on, bro? You see what I'm doing? I'm over here on the YouTube. All right, hey, Baddie. I said, get your camera together. Make sure I got to see you on the camera. Make sure you good. All right. Jersey Devils in the building. I ain't got the sound effects tonight, so I got to do it acapulco. What up, Jersey Devil? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Hopefully you feeling good. Feeling great. All right. Shit, I thought you were How you doing tonight, Jersey? Hopefully you're feeling wonderful. Okay, let's see what Ashley Larry has to say. I just wanted to hear other people say what they are thinking as opposed to the politically correct answer. Yeah, bro. I believe that if a man is definitely going against his nature, definitely going against his nature if he is being monogamous. But I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a good thing, you know? So, yeah, you lost your voice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you feel better. Are you under the weather? Were you yelling and screaming with somebody or what's going on? Tom said it's only human nature. Yeah, I mean it is, you know, like I said on a previous show, you know, when you really think about if you want to talk about nature, one man can impregnate a whole village. So yeah, I think men are is somewhere in our nature where we are meant to. It's just that sexual side, you know, that sexual side of us is just it is what it is.
Right. And it's good to be aware of that. It's good that you are aware of that you have that nature. Because when you come to that level of awareness, then you can control it.
Okay.
When you ignore that and think that, oh, you don't feel that way and you won't feel that way no matter what, because I love this person, then that's lying to yourself and you're already putting yourself in a vulnerable place.
Right.
So the awareness is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tom said MJ said it best. MJ said it best.
All right, Baddie, is she coming on?
I'm not sure. She got a so so many hold on, let me see what it says. So many jokes can be said from that. I'll be good. Oh, wait a minute. Jersey said nope, not at all. She said it just went out. All right, let's we're gonna bring a Baddie in. All right. Nah, a Baddie, come on. What you doing? What you doing? You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for the show. You gotta be ready for the camera. You gotta be up. You gotta be present. You gotta be ready to put on a show here now. You ready? All right, let's go. We bringing a Baddie in. All right, what up, a Baddie? Welcome to the stream.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, so we talking about relationships, phases of relationships. When you go from, what do you feel like is the best foundation for a good relationship? After you've figured that foundation out, what's the next step? And you know, let's start the conversation right there. What up, Kerry? What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I've never seen Kerry before.
I done spoke to Kerry so many times. I never seen my man Kerry. What's going on, bro?
What's good?
All right. So now we actually got a couple live in the flesh right here. All right.
Word.
So hey Baddie, what's the best foundation for a relationship? I want you to answer it, and then you let Kerry you answer it and let Kerry answer it.
Trust.
I say communication. He said trust.
All right. So why do you say communication?
Because that's the foundation. Like, you have to be able to communicate.
Okay. Now let Kerry tell us why he says why you say trust.
I say trust.
Why?
Because they go hand in hand with each other. Hand in hand.
Communication and trust go hand in hand with each other. That's what you're saying?
Yes, because look, communication is just part of something of a grander, bigger thing.
Okay.
Trust. That trust is what makes everything concrete.
Right.
And,
Right. Because if you're communicating lies to one another, it ain't gonna do you no good.
yes. You feel me?
All right.
You happy about that answer, I see. You're happy about that answer, I see.
All right. So you say communication. He says trust. All right. So what were some of the comments that you had on what we were talking about? Do you feel like, let's go back to Ashley Larry's question. I want to ask that question to you. So do you feel like being monogamous, not between you and Kerry, obviously, I know that answer. But we saying in general, do you feel like a man being monogamous is unrealistic?
Yeah.
Is it going against his nature?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you feel as if it's going against his nature?
Because if you think about it, right?
What's that? Something is scratching against a microphone. I don't know if that's you or something's like scratching against a microphone.
Right now?
No, not now. We good now. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've said it before. I think men are meant to have a lot of sexual partners because a lot of our core nature is reproducing, right?
Right.
Yes.
So a man sleeps with 5 women, right, for example, and he impregnates all of them. At that point, huh?
Child support.
No, yeah, but at that point, they all know who the father is, right? A woman does the same thing, and she sleeps with 5 men. Who's the dad?
Right.
Who
Right.
who knows?
Right. She has no idea.
Yeah. So I think that men are meant to have multiple sexual partners, personally.
Okay. So you agree, like what Ashley Larry
agree
said,
too.
it is unrealistic. Okay. So if you as a woman, now y'all both said y'all feel it's unrealistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you come across a man who is willing to go against his, you believe it's against his nature, right? You come across a man and you feel like he's going against his God-given nature for you. Shouldn't you treat that man like a king?
I mean, if you're with somebody, you should always.
Yeah. I'm saying the man that you with, if he's willing to be with you, he's not with anyone else. He's only with you. But you truly believe he's going against his nature to be with you and be with you monogamously. Just you. Shouldn't you treat that man like a king? Because he's not asking you to go against your nature. You're actually walking in your purpose. But he's actually going against his nature. So why do you think so many women have a hard time treating men like the king that they are when they are willing to marry them? And why is the saying happy wife, happy life?
Do you feel that way?
How? What? How do I feel? What?
Do you feel that way?
I feel what?
Happy wife, happy life.
That's the grand truth. Because the wife, it's the wife.
What does that mean?
The wife is the wife. That ass, like.
So, I mean, that's a great question. I think that Kerry should answer this.
What? What's the question?
I think one of y'all need to answer the question because we on a live show.
We're on a live show.
All right.
Happy wife, happy life.
But what is the question around that?
All right, we're gonna come back to y'all. So, Badgurl, what do you think? Do you feel like if a man is willing to commit to you completely, all right? He's willing to commit to you completely, and if you feel as if it's going against his nature, why do you feel like it's the saying happy wife, happy life? Shouldn't the man, if he's going against his God-given nature, shouldn't the man be the one that it should be happy husband, happy life? Like, you should be making sure that he's good. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? Why do you feel like, where did this misconception come if you believe it's a misconception?
I think you both should make sure that both of you are good.
Okay. But do you feel like that's the case? Are women?
No,
All right.
I
That's the
don't think
point.
that's the case.
Right.
I think
I'm saying in
I
real
think
life.
it's very common for women to believe that they're superior, their happiness is superior.
Right.
And that
So
their
if-
man should have to sacrifice because it makes her happy, whether he wants to do that or not. Maybe he doesn't want to go see a ballet. Well, that's too bad. You have to. Because I want
Right.
to.
Exactly. So where do you think that where did this come from? Where do you think that this idea of the woman's happiness is more important than the man's, if the man is actually going against his nature to make you happy? Don't you do you believe that if you believe that, and if women believe that, shouldn't they go above and beyond to try to make sure, okay, this man is really he changing his whole DNA for me,
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. I don't think a lot of people look at it like that at all.
Well, this is going to be a very odd comparison.
Okay.
But I am a huge animal person, as all of you or most of you know. So I know a lot about animals and how they work and everything. And animals are different than humans. There's not really an emotion attached to what they do. They do what they do because it's their instinct and they have to do it this way. That's just an animal. So, for example, I have ducks and I have 7 females and 1 male.
Uh-oh. That's a happy meal.
Yes. The reason being is because for every male duck that you have, they need at least 3 females to themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Or else if they had just 1 and 1, if ducks were monogamous, the female will die because she'll be overmated. This is real. I'm not making this up.
Lord,
Because
let me come back as a duck.
And there's a reason. And Baddie was kind of getting to this, but there's a
Right.
reason, because ducks are prey to animals that are in the water.
Right.
Or even outside of the water. Like they're easy targets. So the male duck feels like they need to constantly be populating so that they don't go extinct.
Mm-hmm.
And even though ducks and humans are obviously different, because humans have the emotional aspect that ducks and other animals don't have, because they're just worried about repopulating and staying alive and
Right.
protecting their young. They don't have all the emotional feelings attached to it. It's instinct.
Right. Ducks don't go on dates.
Right. Ducks don't support.
Ducks
No.
don't go on dates.
No. They have their
Right.
ladies and they mate till they can't mate anymore.
Mm. let's see what Ashley Larry had to say.
I think you're absolutely right. Men go against their nature to be monogamous.
Right. To make the woman happy.
Yes.
Absolutely. And women are
Yep.
worth it. Women are worth it, but I think a lot of women have to realize that men are worth it too.
Yes.
And I think that that's what is starting to get pushed to the background. And in return, it's like, men are no good and we don't need men. We could do it for ourselves.
No.
And yeah, that is one way to look at it. But that's one way to look at it. But I don't think that that's the formula for long-term happiness. I don't think it's the formula. Let's
Yep.
see what Ashley Larry had to say. And to a certain point, humans are like animals. It's for the continuation of the human race. Humans put emotion into relationships. That's true. Now, imagine if you looked at it as, okay, I'm having sex with this person strictly to procreate. That would take so much of the heartache and pain that most of us deal with out of the equation. Now, I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't want that. But when you look at it, if humans mated with each other like animals, you know, it would be like, okay, let's have children. The only difference is animals don't have to raise their children for 18 years.
Yeah, they raise them for like 3 months and then they're good.
Animals raise their children like 6 months tops. Then they be like, you're on your own. You are
They're born
on your
with their eyes closed, and then boom, a week later, their eyes are open, they're walking, they're ready to go.
Right. It's like, all right, you on your own. No college fund, Mom? Nope. What about my car? I hope you can fly. They kick your ass right out of that nest, and you better learn how to fly. All right.
Well, and humans aren't close to extinction. Like animals are more at risk for extinction than humans are.
You're actually doing things to the humans to make sure we ain't populating, but that's a
If
different
anything,
story.
we're overpopulated.
We are overpopulated. That's true.
There's too many of us. We need to settle down.
That's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, let me see what Ashley Larry, let's see. One last comment right here. It's in our DNA to procreate. Somewhere down the line, humans put emotions in the mix. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I don't want to say that we put emotions in the mix, because we're born with emotions. We're born with love in our hearts. We do love, you know. I don't know if animals comprehend love the way humans do. So I don't want to say we put emotions into it. I think
animals have emotions, but I don't think that their feelings,
they don't love the way we love.
Outrank instinct and what they have to do to survive.
Right. It's the intelligent levels of how intelligent we are allow us to love on a different level than animals.
But animals definitely have love.
Yeah, they do. No, I'm not saying that they don't have love, but they don't have love on the level that we have.
Right. They're logical.
Right. It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I should say complicated emotions. Yes. Yeah, we do add complicated emotions into it. But if we were to follow a plan, the emotions and everything wouldn't be as complicated as they've become. I think that things have become so complicated because we've fallen off of the path that it was set for us. If we followed the path, I think it would be a lot easier. You know, but most of us have fallen short. A lot of us have fallen short. But that does not mean that we can't get up and try again and love again. You know, so we're going to funny how time flies when you're having fun. Looked up, it's already 2 hours. Jesus Christ.
Oh wow, really?
Already, you know, get to run your mouth, you start talking, you look up and it's like damn.
Hours later.
All right, so now we're gonna bring Baddie back in. We're gonna let her give her parting words. So get your thoughts together for your parting words. All right, I'm bringing you back, girl. Don't make me have to. I brought you into this world, and I will take you. All right, we're gonna let Baddie get a chance to get her parting words together. All right, and Badgurl, what are your parting words when it comes to, you know? We might have to do a part 2 of this show, because we went from the friendship phase to how you get to that next phase.
We should do part 2, because I don't have parting words yet. I feel like I have a lot more to say.
Okay.
This conversation doesn't feel complete yet.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna hit y'all with part 2 of this. We're gonna do part 2 on Sunday. All right. So we're gonna hit part 2 of this same conversation on Sunday. So now we're gonna bring Baddie. Damn, I just said okay. I thought it had froze for a minute. All right, so we're gonna bring Baddie in for her parting words. All right. So when we talking about, you know, transitioning from that friendship to the dating, what do you feel like in parting? What did you say? Jersey said, I disagree with everything. Well, I wish you would have been on the show to come on in and explain yourself, but in the meantime and in between time. All right, we bringing Baddie in. All right, Baddie.
Hello again.
All right. So, what's your parting words?
don't be afraid to go for what you think is right, because whether a situationship ends up not going according to plan or however you see fit, at least you know.
All right. So you're saying be honest and be honest with how you feel
And be
with yourself. Are you saying with yourself and your partner, or just with yourself?
I mean, I'm talking to the single people out there. Yeah, with yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So they need to be honest with themselves. If you're honest with yourself, then most likely it's going to translate to you being honest with your partner.
Yep.
All right. That's the triple dub, womanly words of advice, some womanly words of wisdom from Baddie. All right. Yo, Kerry, good seeing you, my brother.
Yeah.
All right. Now wait a minute. Before you leave, you got to do the outro with me. All right.
These two are so alike.
All right. You got to do the outro.
Oh my goodness.
Ready? Come to the camera, bro. All right. So I'm gonna hit you with the outro, and I'm gonna tell you what to do. When you hear me say, "And thank you for joining the community that's all about," I'm gonna hit you with the unity, and then you gotta follow along with me. All right? You ready?
I'm gonna do my best.
All right.
I got you.
It's your boy, Little Fat Mushy Toad, representing the WCIS. We can inspire someone. OPP, only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Health. Shout out to Uncle DV. Shout out to Baddie. Shout out to Kerry. And thank you for joining the community that's all about unity. Now you got to do the hand. Wait a minute. You ain't doing right.
The hand? Oh.
Yeah. Unity. All right, y'all. Thank you for your parting words. And we'll see y'all next time. Later. I love it. All right, so my voice is gone, otherwise I would. All right, well, Jersey, we will be continuing this conversation on Sunday, so if you could jump on Sunday, we got to be able to hear what you have to say. What I would say in closing, I do believe friendship is the best foundation. That's number one. And I think that within that friendship, a lot of things will fall into place naturally. I think that once things start to fall into place naturally, once things start to fall into place naturally, you have to explore whatever it is that you feel in between you and that person and be honest with each other, really be transparent with one another. And like I said, you got to figure out what the end game is going to be, or if it's going to be anything or nothing, you have to figure out what it's going to be. And is it worth, once you take that step in that direction, is it worth losing the friendship that you have or may have had? So yeah, we're going to continue the conversation on Sunday. And you said, wait a minute, Jersey said, I don't jump in one time and now I'm forgotten. No one has forgotten you, Jersey. I mean, if you said you disagree with everything, I want you to jump in on Sunday and speak your piece. I want to hear what you have to say, but I want to say thank you to everyone. Tune in, make sure you tune in on Sunday at 6 o'clock. We're gonna go live at 6 o'clock on Sunday. And yeah, we'll pick up this conversation because we definitely didn't get to the crescendo. We definitely didn't get to the end of the conversation. So we definitely gotta
hit them with part 2.
Yeah, we definitely got to give them a part 2 to this conversation. Hopefully Waterbed will be on the stream on Sunday. So everybody tune in on Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody that jumped onto the stream, thank you, Badgurl, the first lady of WCIS. Thank you to Kerry, and thank you to Baddie. All right. And I want to say thank you to everyone in the comment section. It's your boy, Little Fat Mushy Toad, representing the WCIS. We can inspire someone. OPP, only promote positivity. Shout out to Waterbed Health. Shout out to Uncle DV. And thank you to the community that's all about unity. All right. I want y'all to stay blessed, stay beautiful, but most importantly, stay positive. Until then, peace out, y'all. Later.